Nazir Mahmood, star of the Pakistani team. Omar Sharif, as celebrated on the bridge circuit as he is in the film world. And Robert Sheehan and Irving Rose of the England team. And with me to analyse the play is Sami Kahila, Canada's outstanding international player. Over to you, Sami.
Just a word about the scoring of this tournament. The 8 players partner each other in turn, changing after every 4 hands. Each hand is played twice, first by one set of players, then by the other, and the results are compared. Scoring at each table is as in standard tournament bridge. The north, south, and east-west scores of the 2 tables are compared, and if there's a difference of more than 10 points, the better score counts as a win. In this tournament, a win earns 2 points and a tie 1. Let's see how our master players tackle the first hand. On this hand, north, south, Flint and Sheehan are vulnerable, playing against Omar Sharif and Martin Hoffman.
One heart.
Omar has a normal opening bit of a heart.
Pass.
Hoffman has nothing to contribute with only 3
One
points.
spade.
And Jeremy makes a normal protective bid.
2 diamonds.
Laying down the framework for competition in that suit in case the opponents bid a high number of spades. Sheehan is
2
just...
hearts.
That's a good bid. He's saying, I'm good, partner, and
2 spades.
I have a spade fit.
And Hoffman gets into the act by bidding,
Double.
by showing that he has very good hand for diamonds with
Yes.
perhaps some spade control.
Pass.
It can only be diamonds because he failed to support hearts on the first round.
Just note those 2 bids again. Having passed on the first round, Sheehan wants to show a good hand with spade support, so he Q-bids the opponent's first suit, hearts. Similarly, Martin Hoffman, having passed his partner's opening bid, Q-bids the opponent's suit, spades, to indicate that his hand has improved tremendously in support of his partner's second suit, diamonds. Sheehan is now wondering how many spades to bid.
He's got a sort of queeny-looking hand, which...
Pass.
He's decided to delay the decision.
Pass.
Omar has a good hand, but his partner did pass his opening bid, and I don't think that he can have enough for a game, can he? Let's see if he has a singleton spade and queen knave to 5 diamonds, I suppose.
That's the only hand.
The only hand he could possibly have.
Pass.
Well, he's decided that's too
No.
unlikely.
South isn't going to sell
3
out here.
spades.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Pass. Pass.
No, Omar might well push on to 4
Yes.
diamonds. He thought about going on the time before.
4 diamonds.
Good bid, Omar.
The vulnerability is in his favor. If he was
Pass.
vulnerable, he might have reconsidered.
Pass.
I think that was a very good competitive auction all round, particularly by Omar and Martin. Martin's 2 spade bid was very well judged.
Now Omar is in 4 diamonds. He has a club to lose, and the way the diamonds are situated, he has 2 diamonds to lose.
That looks like it, doesn't it,
Yes,
Sammy?
it's a question now of control. If South leads a spade, I think he's all right. If South leads an unlikely club, there may be problems, but it's highly unlikely that South will lead a club.
South might lead ace and 1 diamond to cut down the roughing
That's
value.
Yeah. No,
No,
he's
he
decided
hasn't.
to lead the knave of spades.
Thank you.
So Omar is quite pleased with the dummy. He probably will have to rough a heart in the dummy and 2 spades in the dummy to set up, in order to set up the heart suit, but he's got enough trumps. I think he'll be all right.
He might play for South to hold the Queen of Hearts with his Q bid and take a roughing finesse. That's the danger on the hand.
Yes, he doesn't know, as we do, that the diamonds are 2-2 and the hearts
Yes,
3-3.
Exactly.
5 of spades. Ace. 6. Ace of hearts. 4.
No, I think he's going to play in a straightforward fashion.
King of hearts.
And
Five.
then
Jack.
7.
trump maybe with the 9 of diamonds.
Yes.
The next one.
9 of hearts.
8.
8 of diamonds.
Yes.
Queen of hearts.
Yes, South's cubit of 2 hearts does not necessarily indicate any heart holding. It simply says, partner, I have a good hand for you in spades. What do you think of it?
It's a bit the experts use a
Yes.
lot, isn't it?
The unassuming cubit, I believe they call it. Well, Omar seems to have survived the first hurdle reasonably well. Now he has to concern himself with the trump suit. There's a slight danger if South has a singleton ace of diamonds and he plays a diamond to the king and ace, he might lose altogether 3 trump tricks. Possibly he's giving that some consideration. But when the 10 comes up, I think he'll be all right.
He'll probably play the king.
2 of diamonds.
10.
Yes, well, that danger no longer exists.
Ace of diamonds.
Looks like well bidden, well played.
Yes, indeed.
Omar.
9.
Queen.
3.
So Omar has the rest of the tricks now, and he is claiming 10 tricks. Everybody played well here. North-South bid to their maximum, a spot of 3 spades, but East-West just outbid them.
4.
So Omar gave up those 3 tricks, the ace and queen of trumps and his singleton club. On our scoring system, 4 diamonds is worth 80, plus 50 bonus for the part score, 130 in all. Now let's see how the other players manage with the same cards.
North-South are Rixie Marcus and Jane Priday, playing against Zia Mahmood East and Irving Rose West. As before, North-South are vulnerable. East Zia is the dealer.
1 heart.
Pass.
Pass.
Rose hopes to be able to get back into the bidding somehow by bidding his minor suits if given
1
a chance.
spade.
2 diamonds.
Yes, well,
That's a good bid, isn't it?
yes, it's opened the way for East-West to compete against the higher-ranking suit in the suit where they have 9 cards.
Because they do well in
2
diamonds.
spades.
There are some people who would have passed over 1 spade with Zia's hand with a sort of a minimalish opening bid opposite a fast partner, but I think he's taking advantage of the vulnerability.
He's got a good heart
Yes,
suit. He
he's got a
doesn't
good-
mind
yes.
preference to hearts. How many diamonds is Irving going to bid? He's probably tempted to bid 4 diamonds or...
On the other hand, if he bids 4 diamonds and they bid 4 spades, he might not be so happy to defend against that.
Well, he's got a doubleton heart. He might decide to take the saving 5 diamonds.
3 diamonds.
He's going gently.
Disciplined bid, yes.
Well, Rixie has rather more
Pass.
than she had for the first bid, but she's...
Because you don't really need an opening hand to protect.
3 spades.
Yes.
Pass.
Well, it's clear that Rose has
Pass.
played with Mahmood before.
Well, Zia hasn't got another bid. He might, because he's got 3 spades and they've bid and supported spades, so partner's likely to be short, but can he really justify a 4 diamond bid?
Pass.
Now, it looks as if Rixie and Jane as North-South have done well to buy the contract in 3 spades. Rixie can even afford to go 1 down, losing 100 points and still win the board. On the face of it, Rixie has just 5 losers: the ace and king of hearts, a heart ruff, the ace of trumps, and very likely a diamond. Zia to lead.
Four.
Well, Zia has led the ace of hearts and he's thinking. And he's thinking rather more than he normally does in these situations. Perhaps he's thinking of shifting to a club in case his partner has 2 spades, in which case he can win the ace of spades, give his partner a heart ruff and get a club ruff in return. I think that's a possibility he's considering. That would leave Rixie with only 4 spades, though.
Well, in a protective position, sometimes you have to bid on a 4-card spade suit.
Yes, he's giving that some consideration. The other thing he's thinking is that if North does have 5 spades, if he doesn't give his partner the heart ruff now, he never will, because his
Yes.
declares first play would be a trump.
The ace of clubs, please.
So he has decided to play his partner for a doubleton spade. Now, I think Rixie is in a good position now.
Yes, she's in a very good position.
Small heart.
He's
Yes, that's what he decided to do, to play his partner for a doubleton spade.
but
I lost 3 tricks, yes.
Well, now de Klerk is
she's
home.
in a marvelous position. She's making
She's making at least 9 tricks, and if she can get rid of
probably
her
10.
diamond. If she can get rid of her diamond loser by some sort of a squeeze, she will make 10
I see
tricks.
it.
yes. Now it takes a very good player not to give their partner a ruff immediately.
Yes. It was certainly a well-conceived defense. It was just unlucky that his partner didn't have the right cards for it.
Yes, he can blame his partner at the end
Yes,
of the hand.
for not having a singleton heart and a doubleton spade, for example.
He's shaking his head.
Ace of diamonds.
Is there a transfer squeeze?
Well, Zir is muttering about a transfer squeeze. He has realised that even if he'd given his partner the heart ruff, Rixie could still have recovered by squeezing an extra trick out of West. Almost certainly on the bidding, East has the king of diamonds and at most 2 clubs. By forcing out the king of diamonds with her queen and dummy's ace, Rixie could leave West trying to guard both her 10 of diamonds and dummy's long clubs. And on the last of Rixie's trumps, West would have to concede a trick. It's called a transfer squeeze because the threat card, in this case the diamond control, is transferred from the hand of one opponent to the other.
Anyway, Rixie Marcus didn't need to pursue that line, as she must have realized that simply making the contract must win her the board. So Rixie and Jane Priday win 2 points for outscoring their north-south counterparts at the other table, as do Omar Sharif and Martin Hoffman for doing better than the other east-west pair.
Let's take a look now at the second hand. Once again at the table we have Rixie Marcus and Jane Priday as north-south, facing Zia Mahmood and Irving Rose as east-west. We can see that if east-west bid to a game in hearts, they have no trump loser, no diamond loser, 2 club losers. And if they can find north with either king or queen of spades, will lose only 1 spade. Unfortunately, as we can see, south holds both these cards behind east's ace and can make them both, putting the 4-heart contract 1 down. Zia Mahmood opened 1 heart on the east hand, and his partner Irving Rose went straight to 4 hearts. Jane Priday sitting south is on lead. The bidding has given her no clues at all, so the king of diamonds from her king-queen-10 holding looks the best bet.
Against Zia's contract of 4 hearts, Jane Priday has led the king of diamonds. Zia's problem is to try and keep north off play in order to prevent her from leading spades through his ace third.
Zia did something very clever there by playing the 8 of diamonds,
He did
not the
indeed,
ace.
yes. Holding off the first diamond costs Zia nothing. He can always discard one of dummy's losing clubs on his ace, and if Jane continues diamonds, he'll make both the ace and the jack and discard 2 clubs from dummy.
But Jane wasn't going to fall into that. She led a club immediately.
He's on the right track.
Queen of hearts.
Now, if he draws trumps and plays the ace and knave of diamonds, and permits Jane to hold the trick, I think he's all right.
Throwing 2 clubs, you mean,
Throwing
from
2
the
clubs
table?
from the dummy, then roughs 2 clubs in the dummy, and then he can then arrange to end play south.
If we just look at that more closely, Zia knows that even if South holds the king and queen of spades, he can restrict himself to 1 loser, provided he can force South to lead them up to his hand. Obviously, his plan is to throw one of dummy's clubs away on his ace of diamonds and the other on his jack of diamonds. South is forced to win with the queen, thus denying North a club entry with which to lead spades.
Zia is probably one of the best card players in the world.
Small spades.
This hand probably is not much of a challenge for him. Made it look very easy, didn't he, Nicola?
Yes, very easy. So as we predicted, Zia eliminated the defender's trumps and his own side's clubs and diamonds without giving North the lead, so that in the four-card ending he could run dummy spade jack round to Jane, knowing she would either have to lead a spade back into his 10 ace, or play a diamond, allowing him to ruff in one hand and discard a losing spade in the other. Very neat. Let's go now to the other table and see how Omar Sharif and Martin Hoffman fare with the same cards. They're playing against Rob Sheehan and Jeremy Flint.
Pass.
One no trump.
Sharif and Hoffman are playing the strong no trump,
Pass.
16 to 18 points.
Two diamonds.
Ah. Now,
Pass.
Sammy, two diamonds?
2 diamonds is a transfer bid, requesting his partner to bid hearts. It has the advantage
Three
of
hearts.
permitting the strong hand to play the contract and getting the lead into that
Pass.
hand instead of through it.
And Omar has bid 3 hearts, not 2 hearts, to show a good fit for hearts. And his hand is
Four clubs.
Double.
good in hearts.
Well, West has decided that there's a possibility for a slam and has made an advanced
Four
cue bid of
diamonds.
4 clubs. North has taken the opportunity to double to indicate a
Four
club lead.
hearts.
Pass.
Sharif cooperated by bidding 4 diamonds, and Martin Hoffman has signed off in 4 hearts.
Pass.
Pass.
Martin Hoffman's 4-club bid showing the ace is a mild slam try in support of hearts. Unfortunately, it has given Flint the opportunity to double, telling his partner to lead a club. And a club lead would be fatal to Omar Sharif's 4-heart contract, for North cannot be stopped from gaining the lead for a spade play through declarer's ace. Robert Sheehan to lead. His partner has requested him to lead a club,
Queen of diamonds.
and he has led the Queen of Diamonds somewhat perversely.
Well, he's not requested him. He's suggesting he has a holding in clubs.
He's
that
asking
he
him in the
wouldn't-
nicest possible way to lead a club, yes, it's true. Now Omar is in exactly the same position as Zia was in the other room on the same lead. South, in this case, led the Queen of Diamonds, which by conventional agreement indicates the king, leading the lower of touching honors.
It's called Roman leads, isn't it, Sammy?
Yes. Now, as we saw earlier, in this position, Zia ducked or let South hold the first diamond trick, and then was able to maneuver to discard 2 of Dummy's clubs on his own ace knave of diamonds, giving South a second diamond trick, roughing out the clubs, and then end playing South in spades.
So in other words, he gave South, instead of 2 club tricks, 2 diamond
2 diamond tricks, yes.
He swapped.
Swapped, yes, quite right. Now,
5 of diamonds. 2.
the critical play now.
Now come on, Omar.
He has taken the ace of diamonds. Well, not the best start, but
He still has a
he
chance.
still has some chances, yes. If he can, South has got to duck the 8 of diamonds at some stage, I think. Or if he leads the 8 and South wins the 10,
He can do it.
he can
still
still
it.
do that, can't he?
Yes.
7 of hearts. 2 of hearts. Queen.
3.
4 of hearts.
Well, the player is going to draw trumps, and that'll pass off easily enough. The question is, what is he going to do next? Can he keep North off play? Because once North gets in to lead a spade,
5.
East's chances become 0.
8 of diamonds.
Yes.
Now, the critical play, if South plays the 10, no,
Oh, he's played the
the
7.
3 diamonds.
well, he's not going to be able to keep North off play, and
6 of
he still would have succeeded, or he would still
Queen.
succeed if North had the King, Queen, Jack, 10 of clubs. Perhaps, could he? No.
No, I don't. I
He
don't
would have
think
had to
it's
play
anything.
South for a Doubleton honor
Ye-
then.
Yes.
8 of spades. 3 of spades.
Yes, North has returned a spade, killing all end-play possibilities.
Yes.
If he had returned woodenly a club, then de Clare could have eliminated the diamonds and clubs and thrown Weston with a spade.
Yes. And you notice the way he plays the 8 of spades, so there's no
Three.
confusion
Yeah,
over
yes.
whether he has an
Yes.
honour or not. I
Yes.
have nothing in spades, partner.
Small heart. 8 of heart.
Yes, he's going through the motions now, but I think he knows his fate.
Yes.
King of heart.
Or as he said in Lawrence of Arabia, it is written.
We only begin to appreciate what a marvellous player Zia is, really.
Yes,
He
yes.
he
Jack
just
of diamond.
made it look easy.
King. 8 of club. 4 of diamond.
Yes, well, he's given South the lead, hoping that he'd make a mistake and lay a spade back or a diamond. But I think Sheehan will work it out.
Especially with his partner's
Yes.
double of 4
Yes.
clubs.
He's done the right thing.
10 of spade. 7.
With an air of resignation, he takes a second spade finesse, and he goes down. Now, when the hand was played earlier, as we saw, Zia did in fact make 4 hearts, quite prettily. So Zia Mahmood and Irving Rose, along with Jeremy Flint and Robert Sheehan, have scored 2 points on this hand. And Martin Hoffman and Omar Sharif have scored nothing,
As have Rixie and Jane.
as have Rixie and Jane, not necessarily through any fault of their own, but because the opponents played quite well. Zia, you played that 4-heart contract with great confidence and aplomb. How did you recognize the problem so quickly?
Well, I think this hand is a good example of the point that the declarer, no matter how easy a contract looks, should play to the first trick after some reflection. And on looking on the hand, I realized that as long as the spade honors were split, I'd make the hand, so I had to base my play on the assumption that both spade honors were wrong. I worked out that if I could eliminate all the side suits and throw South in with the spade, I would make the contract. And on reflection, I worked out that by ducking the first diamond would allow me the timing to eliminate the play and make the hand in the way that I did.
That was well judged. You're a very successful rubber bridge player, I understand, but recently you've been playing a lot of tournament bridge. Do you have a preference between the 2 forms of the game?
Well, it's a close thing. Both games have their joys and their challenges, but I think that in the final analysis, I prefer rubber bridge because I find that the excitement of playing with different categories and talents of players is more enjoyable because the psychological angle that is in rubber bridge, you don't find so much in tournament bridge. Tournament bridge is much more like a automaton, a machine playing against well-rehearsed and well-skilled players. But the idea of flair and of uncertainty in rubber bridge is the thing that gives me the joy.
You don't find that the higher standard that is available in tournament bridge is more challenging?
Well, there is great joy in that, but I think that if I had to make a choice or had to play one or the other, then I would prefer rubber bridge.
Thank you very much, Zia.
Okay.
In addition to the tournament prizes, Sammy and I will be awarding a £1,000 Brilliancy Prize for outstanding individual play. Zia is obviously now a contender for that. But let's look at the scores at the end of the first round. All the players have won 1 board, so they each have 2 points. In our next programme, you'll see 2 more hands with the same partnerships in action. See you then.